Welcome on in to another edition of Post-Race Conversations. It's a little chilly here in the desert. Not supposed to be chilly, but my goodness, what? I'm cold, okay?
What are you talking about? This is the perfect weather for me.
No. Okay, maybe for you, but it's definitely not for me. Hello, everybody. Bryan, Nolen, Steven, Stumpf here for you for Frontstretch.com. Here in Phoenix for championship week. And Steven, one race down, but before we dive into the truck series, gotta mention 2 practice sessions in the books, 1 50-minute session, which looks like there's a dominant car, and then in the Xfinity Series, a big wreck. Let's start with the Cup Series. It looks like it is Ryan Blaney. What stood out to you in this 50-minute practice session for the Cup Series?
Well, let's talk about Ryan Blaney first.
All right, okay, sure.
Fastest lap, fastest 5-lap average, fastest 10-lap average, fastest 15-lap average. And the only reason he didn't have the fastest 20-lap average is because he didn't run 20 laps in a row.
I'll do it.
So, he looked amazing early. I mean, you can expect it because he's done everything but win a race at Phoenix in the next gen era. He has 5 top 5s, but led 254 laps, but he hasn't won that Cup race at Phoenix yet, even though
he didn't win last year.
Yep, he finished second the first time in this elimination format that the Cup champion did not win the race. But my kind of what I was surprised about too, although also is Reddick. He was only the 21st in the speed charts. He wasn't that high in averages either. Of course, was it a case of just getting bad luck with getting blocked by other cars? But that was a surprise to me because if you look at Phoenix in March, Toyota led all but 14 laps. They dominated. Reddick led the most laps in that race. He finished 10th, so I was expecting them to be a lot better to start the weekend.
Now, on the Xfinity side, wild craziness happened early on. The 44 of Brennan Poole lost an engine or broke a drive shaft or something. Collected Justin Allgaier, Brandon Jones, Eric Almirola, Parker Kligerman. All 4 will be going to backup cars. Justin Allgaier, championship contender. Eric Almirola chasing championship in the Xfinity owners points. Huge. We've never seen that. I mean, what were your initial thoughts? They all went to backup cars. Allgaier and Almirola both got to go out and run on their backup cars a couple laps before the session ended, but just absolute wildness happened right away to start out the 50-minute Xfinity Series practice session.
I mean, I don't think I've seen Allgaier that frustrated since the last time we were at Phoenix when he had the race won and and he just after the tire blew and he just slammed the pieces of the car. He also, he had that same frustration, post-race. He was also, or in the care center, he was also frustrated because, he had a really good feeling about this car. They put so much work into it. And, that's also, the problem with when it comes down to one race. So, but, they had time. And I was definitely surprised to see that both he and Eric Almirola got laps in practice because, with kind of the truncated weekends, we've always seen when a team has a backup car, it's black, it's blank. There's a ton of work that needs to be done. But, once they rolled them out, they were basically race ready. They were practice ready to go. So, they'll be starting at the back, but at least they will have at least some notes to go off of.
Yeah, there's 2 different types of backup cars. You saw Kligerman and Brandon Jones that just were like bright white or bright black, and they had to put stickers on them. And then you had the other backup cars like Justin Allgaier and Eric Almirola, in which they had the stickers and brand new engine and everything already in there. So they got to go and run some laps in their backup car. Just a couple hours ago, we saw a Truck Series champion and Mr. Steven Stumpf. It was all Ty Majeski. I think what it was, 132 or 134 out of 150 he led. I mean, it was domination from start to finish.
Yep, he led 132 of the 150. Corey Heim led 16. Grant Enfinger led 2. But really, outside, Corey could compete with Majeski in stage 1. He ran him down. But other than that, it was really no contest. And, I think it's definitely surprised to see Majeski dominate that much, especially considering just how good Heim and Eckes have been all season long. But but you think about it, and this is a Ty Majeski track. I mean, look at him, of his 5 wins entering this race. He had wins at Bristol, Homestead, IRP twice, and Richmond. So all kind of somewhat similar tracks except for Homestead. And also he led the most laps in this race last year. So they probably had a bunch of stuff to work on, and just kind of a huge moment for him, especially considering, you know, he kind of started off his NASCAR career as kind of being a meme in that 60 car where he, Briscoe, and Cindric all just seemed wrecked every week. He came back to the Truck Series, got full-time at ThorSport in 2022, and he's had a ton of success since then. So yeah, you know, big comeback story for him there.
Tomorrow we're going to be crowning a Xfinity Series champion. We'll give our predictions right now. AJ Allmendinger, Austin Hill, Justin Allgaier, and the defending champion in Cole Custer. When we are recording tomorrow night, who will be the champion, Mr. Steven Stumpf?
Even with the backup car, I'm going to go with Allgaier for a couple of reasons. Number one, you know, even though AJ showed a ton of speed at Las Vegas, more than they've really shown, you know, all year, he just doesn't have the results at Phoenix yet, especially with Colleague. Ovals have not been their bread and butter, so I think he's just going to be not have the speed. Austin Hill, he'll be better. I think he'll be better than AJ, but I think he'll, once again, just not have the speed. You know, Cole Custer, you know, he looked pretty good in practice, but I think, you know, Allgaier is also really good at Phoenix. He had that race won in the spring, as we mentioned. But I think another thing to watch out for Cole Custer is, you know, Chandler Smith. Is Chandler Smith going to race him harder or get payback from Martinsville last week? And, you know, another reason why I think of that is just because, you know, this may be Chandler's last race. We don't know where he's going next year. He's said that after Homestead that he might be going back to, you know, his dad's construction company. So if he did want to get payback, you know, he doesn't have much to lose. So something for Custer to watch out. But I think kind of similar to last year's finish, I think it will come down ultimately to Custer and Allgaier.
I think it will come down as well to Custer and Allgaier, and I think finally Justin Allgaier gets his illustrious title that he's been chasing for many, many years now. For all the latest, for sidebars from Steven Stumpf, for videos from yours truly, check out all of the latest content from Frontstretch.com and then YouTube.com/Frontstretch. Also, our podcast, Bringing the Heat, live from the desert. It's going to be coming out tomorrow morning with my man Steven Stumpf. Check that out, Apple Podcasts, Spotify as well. Big shout out to Kevin Nix, Trenton, Blake, everybody that helps us behind the scenes. We appreciate it. For Mr. Steven Stumpf, I am Bryan Timothy Nolen. We'll talk with you tomorrow here from the desert.
This is Custom Patch Hats. But what makes us custom? Well, that actually begins with you. We're just bringing your unique vision to life. No knockoffs, no lookalikes. Your design is one of a kind. We know hats, we know design, and we know quality. The proof? It's in our production. Hand-stitched with precision and care, with brands you know and trust. A one-of-a-kind patch deserves a one-of-a-kind treatment, all the way to your doorstep. It's how we keep it custom.
Steven Stumpf of Frontstretch.com here. Come back for more great racing videos, and if you like us, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.